You're watching The Book Reviewer with Cindy Brady, where we make hardcovers soft. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Book Reviewer with your host Cindy. And I have a new book review to share with you guys. So this is a book by Mira Bartok. It's called The Wonderling. And this book was released to bookstores just yesterday. This is what this one is about. Have you been unexpectedly burdened by a recently orphaned or unclaimed creature? Worry not, we have just a solution for you. Welcome to the home for wayward and misbegotten creatures, an institution run by evil Miss Carbuncle, a cunning villainess who believes her young charges exist only to serve and suffer. Part animal and part human, the groundlings at the orphanage spend their days toiling in classroom and factory. For the Wonderling, an innocent, one-eared, fox-like 11-year-old with only a number, 13. Rather than a proper name, the home is the only home he's ever known. When unexpected courage leads him toward a new best friend, a young bird groundling named Trinket. She in turn gives him a new name. She calls him Arthur. Like the good king in the old stories, using Trinket's ingenious invention, the pair escapes and embarks on an adventure that takes them out into the world and down the path of Arthur's true destiny. Richly imagined with shimmering language, steampunk motifs, and gripping magical plot twists, this high-adventure fantasy is the debut novel of award-winning memorialist Mira Bartok. Is already in development as a major motion picture. So, Mira Bartok has written before. She is a writer and an artist. New York Times put her on a best-selling list. She won a 2011 National Book Critics Circle Award, and The Wonderling is her first novel for young readers, and this is a great book. I was very surprised. So as you can see on the cover, this fox-like creature is number 13, also known as Arthur. He is a one-eared fox, and it is revealed in the book that he was actually born that way, and he has a good gift. He can hear things people don't, and that comes in handy in more than one instance, you guys. So this book has 56 chapters, and it's divided up into 3 parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3. And it has a grand total of 450 pages. So, Mira, if you're watching, thank you for this opportunity. So, honestly, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. The first chapter was quite slow, but once you get through the first chapter, things start picking up very, very quickly. So, with any good story, there has to be descriptions. There has to be some semblance of what is going on in the story and what people have been taught, and their preconceived notions and their excuse me, and their not prejudices, but their what they've been taught to watch out for, and that sort of thing. Like, being aware of different creatures and what they do and things like that. So, so this 11-year-old fox, he goes on an adventure. I came to really care about the character and the things that he's experiencing and the things that he needs to do and the friends that he meets. So this was and is a wonderful, wonderful story. It is fantastically imagined, and that first chapter, I think, was very descriptive, and once I got past that, I knew what was going on, and it introduced some of the characters. Some of the characters were introduced over and over again, which is good, because then they become secondary characters, and those are also important to the main character. So this was an amazing book. It is quite imaginative. It is quite, I guess some people would call out there. But if you guys are fans of like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, I think you would enjoy this book. Like I said, it's probably not out in libraries yet, but I will try and find a link and see if maybe Amazon has it yet, and see where you can order the book. So this was a fantastic book. I am very glad that I read it. I didn't write it, I wrote it. So you can go, I think, to any bookstore and order this book, because it's not yet out in libraries. So this is my first experience with Mira Bartok. I did get to connect with her on Facebook, you guys, and it was amazing. I told her, I didn't tell her how I had happened to come across this book, but I did, and I told her, you know, this is what I want to do, this is what I do, and I would like to read it and share it with you guys. And she said, sure. I told her I wanted to ask for her permission because it didn't debut or be on sale until yesterday. And one thing you have to understand about this is this is an advanced reader's copy, you guys. So not only is this kind of a preview, from what I understand, what they do is they go and they print up a bunch of copies, with the understanding that there might be errors, there might not be all the artwork there yet, and so people can read it, especially critics and people that hear a lot about these books, but they don't get to read them yet until it's kind of debuted. So that's partially what I experienced, because the artwork was not all there, but it did not really detract from the story at all. I'm pretty excited about this book. As I read in the little summary on the back of the page, back of the book, that it's in development for a major motion picture. So I am extremely excited about that, because having read this book, I'm wondering now, you know, who the cast is going to be, how it's going to be done, basically, because some of the cartoons and stuff are done really well, and this is kind of a fantasy story, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. But I love this book. This was my first experience with the author, like I said. I would suggest you guys go out, and if you guys want to, Wait until it's in the library, or if you have the funds, go and buy this book and read it. You guys will not be sorry. Um, I know my opinion is there. Um, some people will think, well, it's not fantastic. It was just okay. But that's your opinion, as I have mine. So, that is the book review for today. Gosh, I realize that this is a little longer than the others, but this is a special release. Um, Thank you, Mira Bartok, um, for talking with me and doing that. And I am really excited about your book. I will put links to see who you can get it from if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Keep reading. Don't stop believing. We will see you again next week. Bye-bye, guys.